This psychologist that was there, and again, another important person to have as part of the a part of your arsenal against this type of ignorance, is a psychologist. Now, he does say something that bothers me a tad for him being a psychologist, but overall, I know he means well. So let's give a listen to the doctor here.
I'm a clinical psychologist who's been practicing in Rockwall for 35 years. I've been president of the Dallas Psychological Association as well as the Texas Psychological Association. I've been very active in the Rockwall community and have attended the First Presbyterian Church in Rockwall virtually the entire time we've been here. I would like to offer my professional opinion on the bathroom matter before the City Council. Like most of you, the concept of transgender human beings has been foreign to me, incomprehensible in many ways, and it stretched my ability to understand. Like any doctor, I'm obligated to provide professional services to those who seek help. In that regard, I'm further obligated to learn what I can about transgendered individuals. Three concepts are important for this discussion. One is gender, biologically assigned before birth. The second is gender expression, how we express ourselves as being male or female. And that can be obvious things like the way we carry ourselves, how we dress, what interests us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So in my preface, what I was saying is that he already, being a clinical psychologist for 35 years, and he did not know too much about being transgender, which is it's so honorable for him to come out there in an open mic and say that, and then to say, I have the obligation to go back and learn. And I think him being a psychologist, he may have a professional obligation, but I think all of us have a social obligation that when something like this is presented in society, that we need to go back and learn too. We need to go back and learn. We need to understand where people are coming from. That's what this show is all about. When I make a statement on Twitter to go, hey, that Black Lives Matter went too far in this moment, I bring Alex and other people on and a Black Lives Matter activist to go, tell me why that wasn't too far. Tell me where I'm wrong. And then they change my mind about a certain topic. And I go, wow, I never thought about it that way. Now I get it. Now I'm posting things in the opposite direction on Facebook to show people how I've grown in that situation and to hopefully enlighten other people who said similar things back when I was saying those similar things. We have a social obligation to open our eyes to people that we think we disagree with. And so I'm shocked that as a clinical psychologist, he's never come across this before. That was a little shocking to me, but nonetheless, I'm glad that he did the research and glad that he's coming out and talking about his vulnerability, saying, I didn't know about this. I had to learn, and now here's how I feel about it.
I think some people live in their little bubble, and they don't really open themselves up to much that disagrees with them. And right. I think you made a great point about being wrong. I think that a lot of people don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people aren't open to being wrong. And when they see that they may be wrong about something, they change the subject, as Carol did in the beginning.
Right.
She's not open to facts. She's not open to being wrong. She just wants to change the subject to whatever makes her feel good, whatever makes her feel comfortable. And that's what that is. And I think that Dr. Rob did a really good job of helping or connecting with the people that may not understand what it means to be transgender, but kind of leading the way and opening their eyes
right.
to, hey guys, there is something to this that maybe we should check out. Maybe you need to understand it more. Maybe you need to do a little research, as I have.
Him coming up saying, I didn't understand it and I went to do research and now I know, is going to be really eye-opening for people who are in the situation, especially people on that council.
Exactly.
The third is sexual attraction, which sex attracts us. For about 94% of us, all these things line up. Our gender expression, is the same sex, and our attraction is to the opposite sex. Studies show that 5 to 8% of the population identify as homosexual. They don't quite line up the same way. And about 1% of the population is transgendered, and that doesn't add up very well at all. Please suspend in your mind for a minute the image of transgendered portrayed in the movies. They're not fun-loving pranksters thumbing their noses at social norms. The vast majority of transgendered individuals feel that their biologically assigned gender does not fit.
Exactly.
They feel their gender expression is opposite.
Exactly, and that's why saying born male is not always the right way to word it. It means that they were born female. Their brain is female, but they just have the wrong organs attached to their body, or the organs that are attached to their body don't match what their brain is. Because who you are is not about what's physically attached to you. It's who you feel like. It's who you are in your brain. And so that's why I've never understood the proper way to address it. And that's why every time I have Stephanie on, or every time I talk with Callie or with Danny or anyone else, I always learn what's the proper way to word that, because I don't want to say born with the wrong genitalia. Is that what it is? Is that what's wrong? Or some people will be like, no, you were born with a penis. That makes you male. That means your brain is wrong. Now you're implying that a person is broken, or that there's a mental disorder, and that's where there's an issue as well. So it's important to say that it just doesn't match up, as he's trying to put it. He's like, the two just don't match. You're born woman, but for some reason you have a penis on you. That's an issue, and they want to go through surgery to correct what is wrong, not to change who they are.
Well, I think that may be the issue, is that a lot of times these people that also believe in God think that God didn't create you this way.
Right, that you're making a lifestyle choice, like the elderly black gentleman was saying. You're making a choice to be this way, and it's a lifestyle you've chosen. It's, again, from ignorance.
Right. When you look at it from a science perspective, it all makes sense. But that's the problem. They're not looking at it from a science perspective.
The mayor absolutely was not going, let me make sure the science adds up before I propose this ordinance.
They're looking
at it. That was never his thought.
Yeah, they're looking at it through their God goggles.
The commonly heard, a man trapped in a woman's body, and vice versa. Imagine for a second what you would feel like if your external body was the opposite of your internal feelings. These feelings usually go back as far as that person can remember in their life. It's not something taken lightly or capriciously by the transgendered individual. There is nothing fun about it. Quite the opposite, these individuals are tortured by the conflict. The very same feeling we have about the weirdness of the transgendered individual is the feeling they have about themselves. The rate of depression in this group is much higher than that in the general population. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention states that 4.6% of the general population has attempted suicide, while 41% of the transgender community has attempted suicide.
Golly.
The underlying causes are what we call gender dysphoria coupled with social rejection. Family rejection is one factor leading to increase of transgendered individuals in the homeless population. Being transgendered is not a fun thing to be.
And this ordinance would play into the social rejection.
Right.
Sexual attraction is often independent of gender identity. A transgendered individual who identifies as male, even though biologically female, is not necessarily attracted to men because of biologically assigned gender, but is more likely to be attracted to females because they identify as males. Generally, a transgendered individual will work very hard to look like, dress, and act like their felt gender identity. You would be hard-pressed in general to tell the difference between a biological male and a transgendered male, and the same for females. So for the lady who said that she would not like to be in the women's restroom and have a hairy male come in, is missing that might very well be a transgendered male who has been taking hormones and has had some surgery.
Absolutely.
How do you tell the difference? And in fact, if those people can walk in, why couldn't a man pretend to be the same thing that was not transgendered? I think there's danger in this whole thing. Currently, without the proposed...
I'm going to let you go ahead and have another minute, okay?
Thank you.
You're about 5 now.
Okay.
No, go right ahead.
All right. Currently...
Wonder why I gave him extra time.
I don't know. It makes me wonder.
Without the proposed ordinance, no one can really tell that everyone in the restroom is not of the same sex. As it is now and always has been, homosexuals enter the same restroom as heterosexuals based on their biological gender, Yet those individuals are attracted to the same sex as those in the restrooms. We have been dealing with that forever.
That's right. It's not like there's a sign out front that says no gays allowed. Gay guys go in the bathroom with straight guys all the time. That's a great point.
Without much problem. Were this ordinance to be enacted and adhered to, we would have individuals that appear to be male entering the female restrooms. Everyone in the restroom would be hard-pressed to tell they were not biologically male. They've done everything they can to look male, particularly taking male hormones with full beards, sometimes with surgery. Wouldn't this be more disturbing to the females in the restroom? And the same thing for the male restrooms. This would increase the discomfort and perceived threat level in the restrooms. Furthermore, it puts the transgendered individual in a further tortured and shamed position. Everybody is more uncomfortable. In addition, I believe the proposed ordinance is unenforceable without requiring presentation of a birth certificate. I hope and pray the City Council does not pass this ordinance. I appreciate your time and attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
So maybe he
So
was
good.
interested in facts.